So, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a trading philosophy that completely flips the script, one that helps you go from being the hunted to being the hunter. It's called the smart money concept, and it's all about seeing the real game that's being played in the financial markets. You know that feeling, right? It's almost uncanny. You get into a trade, you set your stop loss just where you think it's safe, and then you watch the price go on this perfect little mission right to your stop. It tags you out, and then boom, it immediately reverses and heads in the exact direction you predicted. It feels personal. It feels like someone's watching your every move. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're not crazy for feeling that way. It's happening for a very real reason. And that reason is you're only seeing a fraction of the game board. All right, so let's start revealing what's really going on. In this first part, we're going to explore the hidden dynamics of this game, and more importantly, who the biggest players really are. The smart money concept, or SMC, isn't just another indicator you slap on your chart. No, it's an entire philosophy. You see, traditional analysis is great at looking at the how price has moved in the past, but SMC asks a much, much deeper question. Why did the price move? It forces you to focus on the cause, which is almost always the actions of huge institutional players. This is a massive shift from just reacting to price to actually anticipating it. So who exactly is this smart money we're talking about? Let's meet the players. First off, smart money isn't some guy in a basement. It's a collective term for the absolute titans of the financial world. We're talking global banks, massive hedge funds, and those lightning-fast algorithmic trading firms. These are the players with billions, even trillions of dollars, access to information we can only dream of, and enough capital to literally move the markets. Now, look at this. This slide is absolutely crucial because it highlights the real battleground, the mind. Smart money is disciplined. They're clinical, patient, and unemotional. They will wait days, even weeks, for that one perfect setup. Retail traders, on the other hand, we're often driven by FOMO, that nagging fear of missing out, which leads to emotional, impulsive decisions. And it's this psychological gap that's exactly what smart money is built to exploit. But here's the good news. These big institutions, as powerful as they are, can't hide their actions. They leave clues, like footprints in the sand, all over the price chart. You just have to know what you're looking for. So let's start decoding them. And the absolute non-negotiable foundation of all of this is market structure. Seriously, before you look at anything else, you have to be able to read the overall trend. This is the map, and all the other clues we're about to discuss only make sense on this map. So there are two key signals that help us read this map. First, we have a break of structure, or BOS. Think of this as a big green light. It confirms the current trend is healthy and still has momentum. But the second one, a change of character, or CHOC, well, that's your yellow light. It's that first crucial warning sign that says, hey, hold on, the trend might be running out of steam and a reversal could be around the corner. Okay, once we've got the market structure down, we can start looking for those specific footprints. And the first one is a big one, the order block. This is basically an area on your chart where a really powerful, aggressive price move kicked off. It's a direct clue, a massive footprint, showing us exactly where an institution likely loaded up a huge block of orders to get that move started. And this quote right here just brilliantly sums up the whole strategy. See, smart money doesn't chase price after it's already taken off. That's what we do. They engineer the move from their order block, and then they just wait. They patiently wait for the price to come all the way back to that same area so they can get in again at an even better price. The next key footprint to look for is the fair value gap, or FVG. You'll see these after a really fast, aggressive move. It's an area of inefficiency where price moved so quickly that it literally left a gap on the chart. It's almost like the market skipped a few steps, and it has this weird magnetic pull to come back and fill in that gap later on. So here's the bottom line. Both of these things, order blocks and fair value gaps, they act like powerful magnets on your chart. They pull price towards them. And because of that, they become these incredibly high probability zones where we can anticipate a reaction, giving us a strategic place to look for our own entries, just like the big guys do. Okay, now let's circle all the way back to that gut-wrenching feeling of being hunted. This next part is all about the liquidity trap, what it is, and more importantly, how to finally stay out of it. A liquidity grab, that's the technical name for that stop-loss hunt you keep experiencing. You have to understand, for smart money to fill their gigantic positions, they need someone to take the other side of their trade. So where do they find a huge pool of orders?
They find it right where all the retail traders like us place our stop-loss orders. And the whole thing plays out like a 4-act drama. First, you have the buildup. We all predictably place our stops in the most obvious places, right above a high or below a low. Then comes the sweep. Price makes an aggressive, sudden spike right into that zone. Third is the trigger. All those stop losses get hit, creating a massive flood of orders for the institutions to scoop up. And finally, the reversal. Once their orders are filled, the price violently snaps back in the other direction, leaving everyone else in the dust.
So now that we understand the trap, how do we start thinking and acting like the people setting it? How do we finally start to think like a pro?
Well, it all starts with a structured process. It's called top-down analysis. You always start on a high time frame, like the daily or 4-hour chart, just to get the big picture story. Then you zoom into a middle time frame to pinpoint your key zones, those order blocks and FVGs. And only then do you drill down to a low time frame to patiently wait for a precise confirmation signal to get in.
But listen, technique is only half the battle. You have to adopt the mindset, and that means radical discipline. It means trading your plan, not your gut feelings. It means you stop trying to trade every single day and you learn to wait for only the A-plus setups. And maybe most importantly, you learn that if you miss a move, another one is always coming. You never ever chase.
Look, when you put all of these pieces together, you're not just learning a new strategy. What you're really getting is a completely new map for navigating the markets.
So let's just recap the big ideas here. First, the market isn't random. It's engineered. Second, you can learn to read the institutional footprints by focusing on market structure, order blocks, and fair value gaps. Third, when you understand liquidity, you can finally stop being the fuel for their moves. And it all gets tied together with a professional, patient mindset.
And that brings us to the final and most important question. Having this knowledge changes everything. It literally hands you the map the pros are using. So the only question left for you is this. Now that you can read the map, will you still choose to walk into the trap?